Have you ever noticed how a simple greeting can linger in your mind long after the words have faded? Not because of what was said, but because of how it felt. A pause that lasted half a second too long. A smile that arrived before logic could catch up. A warmth that didn't ask for permission. Attraction rarely announces itself with grand gestures. It prefers whispers. It hides in the ordinary moments we're trained to overlook. Attraction rarely arrives fully formed or announced with certainty. It leaks out through the smallest, most unconscious behaviors long before anyone is ready to admit what they feel. Psychology shows us that when emotions are strong but unspoken, the mind tries to maintain composure while the body quietly tells the truth. This is especially visible in moments that feel routine, like a greeting, where there is little time to rehearse or protect oneself. In those seconds, attraction expresses itself through micro-choices that are not planned but felt, revealing desire in fragments rather than declarations. When someone is secretly drawn to you, they often experience a brief internal conflict. Part of them wants to stay neutral, polite, appropriate. Another part wants to connect, to be seen, to feel closer. That conflict produces signals that are subtle yet consistent. A greeting may linger slightly longer than necessary. The voice may soften, warm, or become more animated. These shifts are not strategies, they are emotional spillover. The nervous system responds before social rules can intervene. Unconscious behaviors are powerful because they bypass performance. Anyone can smile on command, but not everyone can regulate the timing of that smile, the way the eyes engage, or the way the body orients itself in space. Attraction pulls attention inward and outward at the same time. A woman who is secretly fascinated often becomes more present than she intends to be. She listens with her whole body. She adjusts her posture toward you. She mirrors your rhythm without realizing she's doing it, because connection seeks symmetry. What makes these signs meaningful is repetition. One isolated gesture can be coincidence. A pattern of small behaviors points to emotional investment. Attraction creates anticipation, and anticipation creates readiness. She may greet you with a spark of alertness that isn't there with others. Her energy shifts when you arrive, not dramatically, but perceptibly. This happens because the brain has already assigned you significance, and significance changes behavior at a subconscious level. These signals are not about control or seduction, they are about emotional leakage. Humans are relational creatures, and when we care, our bodies participate whether we want them to or not. The more restrained the feeling, the more likely it is to surface in these quiet ways. That is why unconscious signs are often more trustworthy than words. Words can be edited. Behavior, especially in transitional moments like greetings, is far more honest. Understanding this changes the way you relate to attraction. You stop hunting for proof and start observing presence. You learn that desire doesn't shout, it hums beneath the surface, shaping tone, timing, and attention in ways that reveal how deeply someone is already connected to you. A greeting is never just a formality, even though we like to pretend it is. Psychologically, it is a doorway, a moment of transition where one emotional state gives way to another. When someone greets you, they are not only acknowledging your presence, they are revealing how your presence lands inside them. This is why greetings are so rich with information. They happen at the border between distance and closeness, where instinct speaks before intention takes over. In that brief exchange, the nervous system makes a rapid assessment. Is this person neutral to me, safe to me, meaningful to me? When the answer carries emotional charge, the greeting changes texture. It may slow down, as if time briefly stretches. It may become warmer, more attentive, more personal than the situation requires. These shifts are not conscious decisions. They emerge because the mind is momentarily unguarded, caught between arrival and interaction. A greeting functions like a psychological threshold. Crossing it requires emotional adjustment. If she feels nothing in particular, the adjustment is minimal. If she feels drawn to you, the adjustment is deeper, and it shows. Her tone may soften as she regulates excitement. Her expression may brighten before she can control it. She may lean in slightly, orienting her body toward connection rather than distance. These are not habits, they are responses to emotional relevance. What makes greetings uniquely revealing is their predictability. Because they repeat over time, they become patterns you can observe. If her greeting to you consistently carries more warmth, more engagement, or more energy than it does with others, it suggests that you occupy a different psychological category. You are not just another person in the room, you are someone who activates feeling. The doorway opens wider for you. There is also vulnerability in greetings. They happen before conversation can provide cover. In that moment, the emotional truth arrives naked, unpolished. A woman who is secretly attracted may experience a brief loss of neutrality. Her composure wavers just enough to be noticeable, even if only subconsciously. That flicker is not weakness, it is authenticity. It is the body responding honestly to emotional significance. Understanding greetings as doorways shifts how you pay attention. Instead of focusing on what comes later, you begin to notice what happens first. The initial energy, the way she enters your space, the quality of attention she offers before words fully form. These details matter because they reveal how she feels before she has time to manage how she appears. When you learn to read this moment, you stop relying on mixed signals or overanalyzing later interactions. The greeting becomes a psychological snapshot, capturing the truth of her emotional orientation toward you in its most unguarded form, before logic, caution, or social expectation have a chance to rearrange it. Attraction is often misunderstood as something that must be displayed, proven, or performed, yet psychologically it reveals itself through presence rather than effort. When someone is truly drawn to you, they do not try harder, they become more available. Their attention settles. Their awareness sharpens. Instead of amplifying gestures, they reduce distance. Presence is not loud, but it is unmistakable, because it carries a feeling of being fully met in the moment. When a woman is secretly attracted, her body and mind align around you without conscious planning. She may not say more, but she is there more. Her eyes stay with you a fraction longer. Her listening deepens. She responds not just to your words, but to your tone, your pauses, your emotional undercurrents. This kind of attention is difficult to fake because it requires genuine interest. Performance is about impression, presence is about connection. Presence shows up in how someone manages distraction. When she greets you and the outside world seems to dim, that is not politeness, it is prioritization. Attraction organizes attention. The brain filters out competing stimuli because something more meaningful has entered the field. She may pause what she's doing, turn her body toward you, or unconsciously mirror your pace. These behaviors signal that her system has shifted into relational mode. What makes presence powerful is that it is involuntary. People can rehearse lines or gestures, but they cannot easily rehearse attention. When attraction is real, the nervous system relaxes just enough to allow openness. Her posture softens. Her expression becomes more expressive. There is a subtle ease, even if she feels nervous inside. That ease communicates safety and curiosity at the same time. Presence also carries emotional risk. To be fully present is to be seen, and being seen invites vulnerability. This is why secret attraction often reveals itself not through bold moves, but through quiet availability. She may not escalate, but she remains. She stays in the moment with you longer than necessary. She creates space for connection without naming it. In the greeting, this shows up as a groundedness that feels intimate even if the interaction is brief. Understanding this shifts the way you interpret attraction. Instead of looking for exaggerated enthusiasm or obvious flirting, you begin to notice stillness. You notice how she arrives, how she stays, how she leaves. Performance fades quickly. Presence lingers. It leaves you with a sense of being recognized rather than entertained. When you tune into presence, you stop confusing noise for interest. You realize that real attraction doesn't rush or exaggerate itself. It simply shows up fully, quietly signaling that in this moment, with you, she is not elsewhere, not performing, not withholding, but genuinely here with you. Long before words are chosen, the body has already responded. Neuroscience tells us that emotional reactions are faster than conscious thought, which means the body often speaks first, revealing what the mind is still trying to organize or conceal. In moments of attraction, this gap becomes especially visible. A greeting happens quickly, and in that speed, The body expresses truth before language has a chance to edit it. When a woman feels a strong but unspoken attraction, her body reacts automatically. Pupils may dilate, breath may subtly deepen, shoulders may relax or square toward you. These are not learned behaviors, they are physiological responses to emotional arousal and interest. The body moves toward what it finds meaningful. Even when she is trying to remain neutral, her physical orientation often gives her away. The voice, too, is part of the body. It carries emotional information that words alone cannot. Attraction can soften a tone, slow the pace, or introduce warmth that wasn't there a moment before. These shifts happen because the nervous system is adjusting to the presence of someone significant. The voice reflects internal state, and when interest is present, that state changes. She may not realize it, but you can feel it. Gestures become more fluid when attraction is active. Movements lose their mechanical quality and become expressive. She may tuck hair behind her ear, adjust her clothing, or make small self-soothing gestures that signal heightened awareness. These actions are not performances, they are the body regulating excitement and vulnerability. The more contained the feeling, the more likely it is to surface in these fleeting ways. What makes the body such an honest communicator is its resistance to control. While the mind can choose words carefully, the body operates on impulse. Micro-expressions flash across the face before they can be managed. A smile may arrive too early. A glance may linger too long. These moments are brief, but they are revealing because they happen without intention. Understanding that the body speaks first allows you to listen differently. You stop overvaluing verbal clarity and start noticing physical cues. How quickly does she orient toward you? Does her energy expand or contract when you arrive? Does her posture open or close? These questions matter because they point to emotional truth rather than social strategy. Attraction is not something the body hides well. Even when the mind insists on restraint, the body responds to what it feels. In the simple act of a greeting, this response plays out in posture, tone, movement, and rhythm, offering a glimpse into emotions that have not yet found words but are already shaping behavior and connection. Emotional safety is the quiet condition that allows attraction to surface without force. When a woman feels emotionally safe with you, her nervous system does not need to stay armored, and because of that, subtle signals become clearer, warmer, and more consistent. Safety does not create attraction by itself, but it gives attraction permission to breathe. Without it, desire stays hidden behind caution. With it, even restrained interest begins to show. Psychologically, safety reduces the need for self-monitoring. When someone feels judged, rushed, or pressured, they manage their behavior tightly. Their greetings become controlled, efficient, and emotionally neutral. When safety is present, that control loosens. The body relaxes. The voice becomes more natural. The greeting carries authenticity instead of formality. This is why subtle signs of attraction often appear only when trust has already been established, even if unconsciously. Emotional safety allows a woman to remain present without fear of misinterpretation or consequence. She doesn't have to guard every expression or regulate every reaction. As a result, her interest can surface in gentle ways, a softer tone, a warmer smile, a moment of shared ease. These signals are not dramatic because they don't need to be. They exist in an environment where being seen feels acceptable. When safety is absent, attraction may still exist, but it becomes fragmented. Signals appear and disappear. Energy feels inconsistent. A greeting might feel warm one day and distant the next. This inconsistency is often mistaken for mixed feelings, when in reality it reflects internal tension. The desire is there, but the conditions do not allow it to stabilize. Safety removes that tension, giving attraction a steady channel through which to express itself. What makes emotional safety so powerful is that it is felt, not declared. It shows up in how you listen, how you respond, how you respect boundaries without withdrawing warmth. Over time, this creates a relational space where subtlety is enough. A look, a pause, or a change in tone can carry meaning because there is trust beneath it. In such a space, the greeting becomes less about politeness and more about connection. When a woman feels emotionally safe, her greeting often carries continuity. It feels like an ongoing conversation rather than a reset. There is recognition, familiarity, and ease. She doesn't brace herself when she sees you, she settles. That settling is a profound signal. It means her system expects comfort rather than threat, and attraction is far more likely to express itself where comfort exists. Understanding this reframes how you interpret subtle signs. You realize that the clearest signals of hidden attraction often appear not when someone is trying to impress, but when they feel safe enough to stop trying at all.